Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just continuing the show right now. I just got off one show. I didn't even click out. I just started this one. Another whole link. Welcome everybody, real quick, to the Big Time Show podcast that is live right now on the Big Time Show pages on Facebook and YouTube. I have been on Podbean for over an hour and 17 minutes. They were hanging with me while I did a show. Just got off one, actually, with a guy in Las Vegas talking Cowboy talk. I hope some of you caught it. I had to defend the Cowboys, and that's really all I want to talk about today. I don't even want to talk about the game against Tennessee. Well, slightly I will, but I ain't want to talk about it. I'm going to speak to everybody in just a second. I'm still trying to kind of set things up here and see what's going on. Let me click out real quick again. Hello to Titan Hugo on Podbean and Napoleon that is there as well. I had a few people join in on previous with the show that I was on. Let me come over here. Hey, Jameson Taylor. Henny, I see you. Okay. I gotta remember your email, Henny. I don't mind you popping in. Your brother, C. Burleson. What's going on? I appreciate you guys. Hey, do me a favor, y'all. Y'all come on and share real quick. Come on and share if you don't mind. I would appreciate it. Henny, I don't mind you coming in. You know what time it is. I don't mind at all. I'd be glad to. I like talking Cowboy talk, man. Ain't no doubt about that. Let me see. Who did I? Let me see here. Henny, let me see. Okay, I get it. Okay, I get it. Okay, y'all forgive me. I'm just about to send my brother the link for the show. I don't mind. Because I ain't really talking X's and O's today. I'm talking about the legitimate hate of the Dallas Cowboys have just taken over. It really has, y'all. It really has. Once you start hearing how ESPN and folks, no, I got you, Henry. I got you. It's coming right now. It's coming right now. All right, Henny, you can go ahead and look at your email now. Look at your email. I'm just here to talk about the hate today. I ain't talk. I did this the show because see, as y'all can see, I'm geared up. My Michigan Wolverines are on TV today. I got a lot of stuff going, so I don't think I'll be able to do the show at 3:00. So we just gonna hang out here for a minute. Podbean, if we run out of time, which is a great possibility for those that are watching, listen, I need you to go to your YouTube or your Facebook page and search out the Big Time Show. Search out the Big Time Show. I see you, Henny. Search it out, and then hey, Happy New Year, Mike. Go to that, or go to the YouTube. Oh yeah, there you go, Henny. There you go, dude. I see what you just did. That's my dog there. I don't mind. So listen, I need you guys to go ahead. If you're on Podbean right now, we're probably gonna run out of time, probably in the next 30, 40 minutes. I'm only allowed about 2 hours there per show. I've been with you for an hour since I was just on the previous show. You're going to have to go to the YouTube or the Facebook page. Just search out the Big Time Show. You should see me there live right now. I suggest you all to go there now, to be honest with you, just be through with it, all right? Again, go to the Big Time Show page on YouTube or Facebook. Ladies and gentlemen, my brother is here. Ain't no doubt about it. My brother's here. Let me get him in the proper context. You understand? That's how he's supposed to look right there. My brother is here, and look, this is unrehearsed. This is, but see, when you know what you're talking about, you really don't need rehearsal. You know what I'm talking about? All you gotta do is just come in and just fall in. You come in and fall in, and as always, what's up, Henry?
Man, I can't call it, brother.
Man, yeah, we just here, man. I ain't really got. I was on the show just a few minutes ago with podcasters that have done, basically, they're responsible, but have done what the media has done, Henny. And this is kind of all I was talking about today. We can get into some other stuff we want to. It don't make no difference, but the narrative, Henny, is that they're really focusing on the what if. They're focusing on, the interceptions, and it's right to do that. I want to get that clear. It's right to focus in on it. But if you're gonna tell a story, make sure that you tell the whole story. That's what I'm talking about. Just don't talk about the interception. Talk about what Dak did after the interceptions. Because, see, that's the real story at hand. A lot of folks talk about the Cowboys. I just got on the show with some. Like we 4-12. Look, if you listen to folks, you'll think that we getting ready for the draft. Man, we 12-4. That's last time I checked, y'all. Now, last time I checked, 12-4 is pretty good. And it's an indication that you are a pretty good football team. Talk to me, Henny, because some folks don't understand.
Yeah, so I'm glad you put it there. Especially when we talk about context. Because, that person has strong interceptions. We do have advanced stats now. So we know, just from looking at advanced stats, 7 of those interceptions came on plays, not being turnover worthy. People don't understand what that means. Non-turnover worthy plays or turnovers that happen on plays not need to be the error of the quarterback. So that means it was not a bad throw. That means it was not a bad read that led to the interception. So those plays are generally receivers dropping the ball or the receiver running the wrong route or the quarterback being hit and forcing an error throw or what a place would otherwise happen. So
Henry, hold right there. You going kind of in and out on me. You kind of spotty. You kind of spotty in your voice. You kind of going in and out.
Let me see. Testing. So I can hear myself.
I can hear you, but It sounds like when you're talking, that's the issue.
Let's see. Right. Clear this up.
If you can't pop out and pop back right back on, it's the same. It's the same link. It's the same link. It is the same exact link. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's unbelievable how they are just killing the Cowboys as if we lost the game. You know what I'm talking about? Have y'all heard all this week? Have y'all heard this week? I mean, I appreciate you, Damon. Thank you, Damon. Thank you, Damon. Getting back in the building. Say something, Gary. No, you don't. You sound even worse. Hold on. Say it again.
Something.
There you go. You good. Now you perfect.
Okay, cool.
Go back and talk what you're talking about, man.
When you look at the statistics, most of these interceptions are not really Dak Prescott's fault. But disregard that. Look at the other things he's doing. Since week 7, he leads the league in touchdown passes. He's thrown 22 touchdowns since week 7 when he came back from a thumb injury on his throwing hand.
Yeah.
That is impressive.
Yeah.
And then you look for the entire season, he is second in completion percentage. The only quarterback who is completing more passes than Dak Prescott is Geno Smith. He's tied for second with everybody's golden boy, Joe Burrow, in completion percentage.
Wow.
Raw QBR, he is fifth. And that factors in everything. The throws he makes, his running ability, everything. He graded out as the best quarterback right now.
Wow.
First success rate. Like there's a bunch of things you look at, and Dak Prescott is having an elite season. Like take the interceptions out of it. You're doing great.
Wow. I don't. You know, I know what it is. I mean, I know it's the natural hate. I get all that. But it's just the attitude. See, what it is that they're upset, Henny, to me, that we didn't fall into the usual narrative of what they think we would be. There's a little meme that's been out for years about the Kevin Hart meme that shows how he looks in 1 month and then the next month and then the next month and then the next month. We've killed all that. Usually when we start talking about the Cowboy haters, they have the tendency to move the goalposts. That's what they do. So what doesn't happen is that what you usually hear, they still saying you got an echo, Henry. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, what they usually say is, okay, in September, y'all good. You know what I'm saying? In October, y'all still good. Then November, y'all start going down. And then in December, y'all phase off. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Cowboys kind of shut all that down this year again. We ain't lost but one game in the last, per month, if I'm not mistaken. Matter of fact, let me pull it up. In September, the Cowboys are 2-1. In October, they're 4-1. In November, they're 2-1. And in December, they're 4-1. So we done kind of shut all that up. You know what I'm saying? That's all shut up. Now the goalpost doesn't move. We done shut all that down. Now they're saying, okay, well, let's just wait until the playoffs start. See, now you got to go to that. You keep raising the bar. And here's the thing that I be laughing at, Henry, and I'll let you get a piece of this. Mm-hmm. They talked about what we didn't do against Tennessee. You know, the expectations was for us to score 50 points and all that kind of stuff. But the last time I checked, Henny, when you win by 14 points in an NFL game, that is considered to be a blowout.
It's a blowout.
Because usually the line is, 3 points, no more than 4 or 5 points or something like that. I'm saying, and to even put a little bit more fire on this. I didn't hear all this when the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Houston Texans in overtime.
Right.
In Houston. I didn't get that. Because that was supposed to have been a blowout too. A real blowout. But I didn't get all that. I didn't hear nothing about, what's wrong with the Chiefs? Oh, what's wrong with that? I didn't see that when, listen, Henry, I didn't see Henry, they saying turn your game down, so I don't know what you got over there or whatever the case. But anyway, I didn't see all that when Philadelphia beat Chicago by 5 points. I didn't hear all that, Henry. I didn't hear all that. But all of a sudden, because the Cowboys, quote unquote struggled, or they ain't score 30, or they ain't score 40, they still blew them out on the NFL standards. I don't care who played. I told y'all that the other day. I don't care who was playing. It ain't my fault they set folks out. We beat their brains out. Talk to me, Henry, real quick about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to you, then I'm gonna run over here and see about this.
Okay.
But the point spread was 13.5. We covered. So like experts, they got it right. We won by 2 touchdowns. And it was a game that could have been way worse than that. Because Trayvon Diggs dropped an easy pick six.
Yeah.
Like we were moving the ball when Peyton Hendershot bounced the ball to the safety. Like we were moving the ball when they fumbled a little snap. So we had chances to score 50 points.
Yeah. I don't get it, Henry. I don't get it. I know you gotta go, man. Go ahead and go ahead.
I ain't gonna
Okay. Yeah, I mean, where was all this talk when Philadelphia beat Chicago 25-20 on the road? Where was all this talk about that? Where was all of the yip yap then? Why didn't anybody say something about Kansas City beating Houston in overtime? Where was that at? Why does the Cowboys have to play perfect? And some of you Cowboy fans, let me throw that in. Because it just ain't the haters. It's just not the haters. It's just not the haters, y'all. Because a lot of Cowboy fans have got this stuff messed up too. We actually had to play a perfect ball game for y'all to be quiet. And y'all think that we supposed to beat teams like the way we beat Minnesota every week. I mean, that's what y'all really think. That's not how it usually goes. Usually an NFL game between pretty good teams, and I ain't saying Tennessee was a good team, but usually the games usually come down between the last 2 or 3 possessions of a football game. That's why the Lions in Vegas beat 3 points, 4 points. That's what it ain't too many Lions that beat 13.5. Come on now. Y'all killing me. Y'all killing me how like Dak Prescott against the Eagles. A lot of y'all still was talking about the 1 interception that he had. But y'all didn't say nothing about the 3 touchdowns after that and how perfect he was after that. Y'all killing. Y'all want Dak to throw for 350, have a perfect QBR rating, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Y'all want him to go 24 out of 25 and be an MVP candidate. This is where we come down to. And when you listen to all these analysts, because I've watched hard, that's really what it's boiling down to. We have to play perfect for everybody to be quiet. We can't. They didn't even talk about the win. They just talked about why the Cowboys can't do this, why Dak throw the interception, really threw one, to be honest with you. Other one bounced off Hendershot. Y'all know that. It bounced off Hendershot. They talked about the defense and Nation, and all that. It's really becoming to the point where since they can't talk about us losing, there you go. Since they can't talk about us losing, they want to nitpick. And some of you Cowboy fans want to nitpick too. And I'm not saying that some of your nitpicking is not justified. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say it again. We are 12-4. We ain't 4-12, y'all.
And let me add this. We're 12-4 with a first place schedule. But we won our division last year. So we playing the first place schedule. And still won 12 games.
Yeah. And let's throw this in. On top of that, Henny, usually a 12-4 record would probably get you number 1 or number 2 seed. It took a special year from Philadelphia to make us go down to a 5th seed. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it ain't like we, I'm saying we are, whether y'all want to admit it or not, and Cowboy fans, just in case some of y'all got amnesia, let's be real honest here. A lot of the games that we've won usually were a lot of the games that we usually lose. Let's be honest about it. Some of these tight games, we usually don't win a lot of these tight games. We win 1 or 2 and then we'll lose 2. We done capitalized on it all this year, y'all. What else do we have to do? And this really is the Cowboy fans. I get the haters talking. I ain't worried about that. I'm talking about the family. What else do you want us to do? Please don't say do it in the playoffs. We ain't got there yet. When we get there, then we'll talk about it. You got to win games first in order to get to the playoffs. We've done it. I don't know what else you want, but I understand what it is. It's a lot of hate for good old Dak Prescott. Yes, he has up the interceptions, but as Henry just said, when you go into what the interceptions he have, how many of them were not drops, bounce off the chest, bounce off the hands, receivers not completing, running their routes, all that kind of stuff. We done seen it all now. Yes, he's had a couple bad throws, no doubt about that. But some of this stuff really wasn't on him, y'all, and y'all know that. So for the Dak haters that wear a star on your hat, hey, you got to really go into the numbers. Come on, talk to me about that. I can't stand
it. Yeah, man. I don't really. Especially the quarterback of your team. Yeah. So you would want him to do well. But the narratives that they have about Dak Prescott having a bad season is just not there. Like I said, second in completion percentage, 6th in QBR, first in success rate. With averaging 35 points back from injury. Like what more do you really want from Dak Prescott? Listen. Just take away. Don't take away all the interceptions. Just take away the interceptions that aren't his fault. It'll be 22 touchdowns to 7 interceptions.
You take it every day of the week.
You take it every day of the week.
Yeah.
Especially for a guy that's only played 11 games.
Yeah.
So 11 games. Prescott is literally averaging 2 touchdowns a game.
Yeah. I don't understand it. But look, he's got a lot more, and we really just getting started with this thing. I believe that if Philly wins tomorrow, I really don't believe that next week's game really means anything, to be honest with you. So I'm expecting Philly to win. I hope they don't, of course, but I'm expecting them to win. And then some of these guys that we have who are nicked up, some of them may not play at all, and then some of them may just play a quarter, be like a preseason game, because the game really won't mean anything. So it's big. But since Henry's on here, I got to talk X's and O's now. I was just going to complain about that, but, y'all just need to calm down a little bit more. I mean, my God, let's go. But Henry, let's talk a little X and O's while you're here. Talk to me how you feeling about, it looks like that Nashawn Wright has kind of probably, as for now, kind of taking that spot over there as a number 2 cornerback. Tell me how you feel like he played.
Nashawn Wright got his ass tore up.
Okay.
Let's be honest about it.
Okay.
But he was not worse than our alternative. Because he still played better than Kelvin Joseph did. Because he gave up 7 receptions on 10 targets, 105 yards, but he did have an interception. No touchdown surrendered. So I'm fine with that. Like everybody on your team cannot be a shutdown elite cover corner. Like you got Trayvon Diggs on the other side. You got DeRon Bland having a hell of a rookie season. Like they're gonna have to be an odd man out no matter what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I like him.
Let me just add on to that. If you compare him to Trayvon Diggs, he gonna look like a practice squad cornerback.
Correct.
All right. And let's be honest with y'all. Listen, hey, Trayvon done got baked a couple times too the last couple games too on those double moves. But hey, that's touchdowns. But Nahshon did not do, and Henny said it right there. Nahshon, okay, they're still saying you got a bad echo, but I don't know what it is. We're going to work with it, y'all. Y'all just bear with us on that part. But listen, Nahshon, even though he gave up the yardage, what he did not do that Kelvin Joseph did, he didn't give up touchdowns. And he took a ball away. That's a turnover. That's a possession for the offense. That's a chance for you to score. Out of all you have left, what is the alternative? Those two guys that we signed earlier about a couple weeks ago, they're not good enough at least considered to be a starter. Nahshon has done the job. He's going to get to work, y'all. He's going to get to work. That's what teams are going to target. And then keep in mind, he's just starting to play. So, but I did notice that even though he gave up the yardage, he was in position. So he was there to make the tackle. He's a for sure tackler. And that's a good thing for us. So that's still going to be a work in progress as far as the cornerback position goes. I think Nahshon did okay. He gave up yards, but he didn't give up the big play like Kelvin Joseph was. So if that is better than Kelvin Joseph was. I think Kelvin Joseph, y'all, especially after that penalty. What's up, Greg? Especially after that penalty. I see, hey, Coach Marv, I see you. After that kick interference penalty, I think that just put him more in the doghouse than he already was. So I believe he's really having a hard time getting in any type of good graces at all. And I think that right now, what's up, Gary? I see you, brother. I think that right now, Kelvin Joseph is regulated strictly to just special teams. And the only way he's going to get in now on defense is, of course, unless there's an injury. I believe they will put the guys up that we signed before they put in Kelvin Joseph. I think he's in the doghouse. We just don't hear about it. I think that he really is in the doghouse. And to be honest with you, he don't deserve it. But Nahshon, right, even though he gave up the yardage, he didn't give up the big play. That's all we need. Let's go deeper on that, Henny. I don't know if you had a chance to watch the film on it or not, but I did. Dan Quinn kept up with a lot of man coverage. He really wasn't zoning up like I thought he would. And I don't know. I guess I don't know how well. We're not there in practice, so I just don't know. I speak for me. Let's put it that way. As an armchair quarterback, I'm not sure if I'm really trusting Nahshon on man coverage like that. That's just me. He didn't run a lot of zone at all. What's up, Coach Dante? I see you. What's up, Greg? I just don't think that. I just think there ought to be I ain't saying primarily go to zone because we ain't doing that, but there ought to be something. Well, we needed it for Kelvin Joseph for sure, but there need to be some type of slight mix. And I don't know if you really gonna go Nahshon man like they've been doing. And Gary just said it right here. My brother Gary just said it, and that could be the detriment of it. He said they've been playing man all year, it fits the personnel. But I don't know if it fit Nation like that. I just ain't sure. Help me, Henny. I don't know about that.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't leave it, man. We saw what cover three looked like.
Yeah, horrible.
They didn't play well on cover three.
Horrible.
So I would rather have my best cover guy in man, and if that means having somebody that's a little bit worse, man, on the other side, you have the outcome.
Yeah. The other thing, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say, so man, give the best chance of getting home with the pass rush. Because you play a veteran quarterback, they're gonna tear zone up. Look what Dak did. When they try to play zone. He was 24. It's the Eagles. 3 touchdowns to get zone defense.
Yeah.
And high level quarterbacks do that. So when you go into the playoffs, you're trying to play cover 3, you're trying to play cover 2, you're gonna get killed.
Yeah. And we can't do no cover 2 because we're more effective when Donald Wilson is kind of like down there close to the box anyway. Yeah, so I mean, cover 2 is out. They ain't even worth talking about because we don't need him back there dropping back. I mean, playing the hash or whatever. That ain't gonna happen. So I just don't. I just hope he gets better. And Gary put out something real quick that is true. If we remember preseason when he did play a lot, I believe Gary hit the nail on the head. It's not like he's out of position a lot. It's just that he don't look for the ball. And I believe that, and if you watch the preseason game when he played, that was the truth. It was almost kind of like Anthony Brown. Anthony Brown rarely was getting told, left. He just wouldn't make the play. He was there. He just didn't make the play. That's the difference between him and Diggs. Diggs make a play on the ball. Nation usually does not, but hey, maybe the pick that he had, okay, maybe the pick that he had is a sign of things maybe to come. So I just noticed that part on defensively. The other thing that I noticed is, and real quick, Henny, we sure need to get these injuries, on defense. We need these guys back. We need Hankins back. We need LVE back. We need these guys back because you can tell the difference. We giving up yards that I don't think that we really would give up. I just believe that we need to. That's hurting us right now for real defensively. What you think about that?
Man, I believe that's true. Because we already have bad run defense. And you see the difference with Hankins and LVE not being out there. I'm a big LVE critic.
Yeah.
But what we have out there, he has been our best linebacker. Being honest about it. Clark has played well, but he's still young.
Yeah.
Anthony Barr had only shown flashes. Because big majority of the season he was playing worse than LVE.
Yeah.
So we look at our linebacker, I understand why we play so many safeties in the box.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Do I have to do something to get healthy
quick, like within before another 2 weeks from now. And you sound better. You sound real better. And I don't know what you did, but you sound much better than what you were. Let me throw this in. And this is hypothetical because we don't know, okay? We don't know, y'all. So everybody get a chance to talk about this. Everybody get a chance because we don't know unless you've been in that locker room, unless you've been in practice. But a name that had a lot of hype with him was Cox. Mm-hmm. And this brother can't get on the field. At least not enough for me. Other than special teams primarily. And everybody, y'all put it in the chat box because this is just hypothetical. We don't know, but it's just everybody's opinion, which is needed here in my show. I don't mind. Nobody's wrong. Nobody's right. Why you feel like he can't get on the field?
The boy can't tackle.
Hmm.
I mean, that was his come out of college. That is why this man was a fourth-round pick. He has the size, he has the speed, he can cover as a tweener, he had played safety before. He's not good tackling.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing you need to do when you're a damn linebacker. If you can't get the guy you're trying to hit on the ground, you don't need to be on the field. Like the best play he made was that goal line hit on Daniel Jones. But if you look at him playing in the preseason, I think it was last year he was missing a ton of tackles. So there is a reason that Clark jumped him fresh off an injury and got playing time.
I even take it a step further, man. I seen Luke Gifford more on the field than Cox. I mean, I don't get it. And he had a whole lot of hype coming in. I mean, yeah, I hear it too. He had a whole lot of hype coming in, and he has just not even been on the field. And we're hearing, at the end of the year, and so there's got to be something. I know he was injured starting off, but if, as much hype as he had, something is not right there as far as him, getting on the field. So I was wondering because as fast as he is, and he is that, it's got to be something else that's going on there. And for Dan Quinn, who loves speed, for him not to get on the field at all, it's kind of telling what's going on. You're right, Joseph. Jalen Tolbert is the same way.
I feel bad for Jalen.
Why?
Man, because he was a top 100 pick. And can't even get on the field. I know he was a third-round pick, but they spent a top 100 pick to get this man on the team.
What have you heard about why he can't get? I've heard his understanding of the playbook. Now I don't know how true that is, but that's what I've heard.
I ain't heard anything. So I really not gonna
You speculate or anything.
yeah, just speculate or pretend like I know, but I hate it for him because it pretty much is looking here down the drain.
Yeah, and what we do know for sure is the Cowboys feel that Noah Brown is better than he is. The Cowboys feel that T.Y. Hilton is better than he is. It is what it is. And for him not to get on the field at all as it was a third-round pick, if I'm not mistaken, third round pick. I mean, that's he's supposed to be on the field by now. So there is a reason why he's not on the field. The Cowboys will never throw nobody under the bus like that. But he's lacking somewhere, obviously. But that's what I'm thinking about. That the injury parts, we for us to really get what we really need out the defense, we need all our horses back just to really have a chance. Hankins, for real, if he can come back, we really need him in there. Greg says this. Let me see. Greg said this is my theory: lack of focus and mental discipline, which might be reasons for his tackling problem. I ain't gonna kill it. Yeah, I mean that's a good guess. I ain't gonna say it's wrong or right, Greg, because I haven't heard anything. The Cowboys really don't talk about Cox, and even if they did, they wouldn't throw him under the bus. So we really don't know. We would have to be at practice to really, and really Dan Quinn really is the one that has the answer to that question. I just find it, kind of crazy that this man had a lot of hype coming in this year and just can't get on the field. So there's got to be a reason why it is. Coach Price, Coach says Gilford didn't look good Thursday. Malik Jefferson for practice team and Great Priest could tackle with speed. Didn't we let go of Malik Jefferson though?
We did, but we brought him back.
We brought him back. And he's a hitting machine too. So we just need to, just in case, LV doesn't come back or whatever, we need to make sure that we got all our options on that linebacking core. And the linebacking core overall really hasn't, he ain't all that.
They ain't lived up to expectations.
No, we have not.
Your best linebacker is a guy that doesn't even play linebacker. It's Michael Parsons. Michael Parsons is pretty much edge at this point. Like it'd be a disservice to put him in playing actual middle linebacker at any point in time. He's too good at putting pressures and rushing the pass. And then when you look at the back end, LVE, he was actually playing pretty good before he went down. But he is hurt. you know, he been having the same type of issues for years. So I don't know if he comes back, he take another hit. Will he be gone again?
Yeah.
Anthony Barr been up and down most of the year. He had a good game against the Eagles, probably his best game of the year. But like he's been inconsistent.
Yeah.
Everybody else have any kind of experience. Clark, no experience.
Yeah.
So within, you know why West Coast we talk about bringing in somebody like Dante Hightower.
Yeah. We need some help on that. Let me address this. Joe, who's in the country of Italy right now, always recognize him for coming in and hanging with us on that part. Let me Podbean, we're gonna get ready to get off here in about another 5 minutes, at least on Podbean. You need to go now to YouTube, go to the Big Time Show, or any of my Facebook pages. The Big Time Show Facebook page. Go ahead and go there now. Click in live, and we'll be continue this. Let me address this, Joe. Joe says, is anyone worried about we struggled against Tennessee, who played all backups, and what happens when we play Tom Brady and the Eagles with Jalen Hurts? The answer to that question, Joe, is no. Not worried about it at all. And here's the reason why. When we went into the game, a lot of the offensive players did not play. There were a couple of defensive players that were missing, just a couple. But you got to keep in mind about this, Joe. They were ranked third in run defense coming into the game. They were only giving up 80 yards a game running the ball.
True.
Keep that in mind now. Also keep in mind, Tony Pollard did not play. Hey, we missed a big piece out of the offense. And ladies and gentlemen, let me say this to you, and this may be a hot take here, but Ezekiel Elliott had, there you go, Titan. I see you switched over. Appreciate you. Let me say this. We saw Ezekiel Elliott have 19 carries for 37 yards. They're pretty good and stout against the run. However, here's what you should have, come away with. We need Tony Pollard. Because Zeke, you see, getting them 1 or 2 or 3 yards only going to make Dak throw a whole lot. Let's be honest. When Zeke ran the ball, it put us in second and long just about every trip. It did. And that's why Dak had to throw it a whole lot, because we weren't winning on first and second down. Tony Pollard would have made a difference. Malik Davis had that one big run, but other than that, he really was stifled too. So I'm saying, you got to give Tennessee credit. They've been holding people to 80 yards all year long or less. They just been doing that all the time. But what you should have seen, we're more of a dangerous football team. And I love, let me preface this by saying, I love Ezekiel Elliott. I do. But at the same time, my eyes are not lying to me, y'all. Tony Pollard is just more of a dangerous running back than he is now. Now, when we get inside the 5-yard line, that's what you're seeing. If you're a fantasy football player, you notice that Ezekiel Elliott is getting touchdowns every week. You know why? Because he's running the ball from the 2-yard line, which is where he can be incredibly effective because he's got more power. That's the part that I'm noticing Kellen Moore has kind of caught a grip of. He knows when he gets inside the 5-yard line, it ain't Pollard time, it's Zeke time. And so you're noticing that, which is good. That's what he's good for. But in that middle of the field, if you want this offense to take it up a notch, you need Pollard in the game. And that's, we saw Thursday, how much we miss him. Talk to me, Ben, about that.
Yeah, I agree and disagree at the same time.
Go ahead.
We were going into second and short and third, or second and long and third and long a lot. But I also put some of that onus on Kelly Moore with some of the play calling. Because they sold out on first down to get to stop the run, and we still ran right into the teeth of the defense. So I'm all for running the ball. I'm team running the damn ball. But in situations like that, the fifth time that they tackle Zeke for a 1-yard gain or a 2-yard gain or a loss, you should have came back with the play action to keep them honest. They weren't really throwing them any curveballs on first down, just run up the middle. I just want to run defensive football.
I was begging for him to throw on first down.
Yeah,
I was begging for that the whole game. We didn't get
it. They sold out for the run. So what you have to do is get them out of there. So
I thought for sure that we were going to start.
Make them put somebody else back. They were putting 8 men in the box, run blitzing every time.
Even if you lined up in that formation, you could have played action out of that. You know what I'm saying? You could have done that.
You should have made them back out of there. You should have made them play in the light box even when you're under center. I would have took so many shots against that.
Yeah.
And then was able to run. I don't think Zeke was really put in a great situation to rush for a bunch of good yardage.
Well,
about the way that they called the game on offense.
Well,
I also do agree that we do miss Tony Pollard. Like you say, there's a different kind of speed, there's a different kind of change of pace. But I also put some of that on Kellen Moore. He saw how the game was playing. They saw how the defense was playing our running backs. And he did nothing. He did nothing about it. There should never be a game where we rush for 31. We rush the ball 31 times, and we have under 100 yards. So I do still put some of that on Kellen.
Well, let's throw in a third option, and Coach Price was already beat me to the punch. What he just said there, he said that he blamed it on the offensive line as well, because
they haven't played well.
No, they did not play well Thursday. They didn't blow nobody off the ball. Every time Zeke touched the ball, somebody was right there automatically. So we didn't do a good job offensively with doing the ball. Speaking of which,
glad he brought up.
Go ahead.
No, just real quick. I got some numbers for that. So give me 2 seconds. Let me find this metric because I got it saved in here. Here it go. All right. So this is on yards per carry by running backs per week. So we were doing great. In the Indianapolis game, we averaged 6.2. All right, then the Houston game, Terrence Steele went down midway through, 4.2 yards a carry. Jacksonville, 3.8 yards a carry. Philadelphia, 3 yards a carry. Tennessee, 2.6 yards a carry. So in the 4 games where Terrence Steele has been absent, our ability to run block has plummeted.
That's a great point, Henry.
So that's very good for Coach to bring that up. That is a very good talking point. We already everybody talked about it, but the run defense, the run blocking has been sort of poor since we lost Terrence Steele.
Questionable at all, yeah, definitely. So when you think about that, that's a perfect segue into the offensive line, because Biotis, of course, looks like he's going to be gone at least for the rest of the regular season. They're hoping that he can come back in the playoffs. So we're talking, 2 weeks? I ain't never seen an offensive lineman come back with a high ankle sprain in 2 weeks. I that just don't. Usually high, well, it depends on what degree it is. They didn't let us know that. But it's kind of rough. That's a lot. How well do you think number 1 McGovern played? Or did you really peep him out?
He wasn't playing well. Not at center.
Yeah,
but he's been. Listen, I would say this. He's been an underrated guard. I'll give him a hard time all year. He is not playing that bad, but he is not playing great either.
Yeah.
So I say if I have to rate him out, give him a C minus at guard.
Yeah.
I didn't really watch the film on him as center, but
yeah.
He's not my first option. But what else we gonna do at this point?
Yeah, exactly. We really run out of options, and even to the point that what we really don't want is looking like it's gonna happen. That is Jason Peters playing a whole lot more, him being 40. One thing that they did that I would have changed it. They went ahead and put Peters at left tackle, and then move Tyler Smith down to guard. I would have switched it up. I would have put Peters at guard, and then kept Tyler Smith back out there at left tackle. That's what I would have done. And maybe we might see that. I know he's used to playing left tackle, but at this point, Peters looked okay on pass blocking, a couple plays, but I don't know how long he can sustain that. And I don't know. Somebody help me out here because I don't know. Is Farrakhan ready to play? That's what I want to know. Is he back? Is he ready to play or what? Does anybody know in the chat? I'm just throwing it out there. Does anybody know if Farrakhan is ready to play? Because see, Peters is injury prone. We know that Tyron Smith is injury prone. We got a long way to go to be banking on a bunch of guys who are injury prone, to be banking on them making us, a playoff run. So we really need to know. I hate to say this, y'all. I really do. But who else's name is getting ready to come and play because we run out of options. That's Ball. I know y'all don't want to hear that. But I'm saying, good Lord, I mean, if we get another few injuries in a bad spot, hello, here he come. So I mean, we ain't going to sign nobody and all that kind of stuff. So you can forget that. So we really kind of thinning out there, to be honest with you. I wish we had Farrakhan. I don't know if he's ready to play, but I like him. I do like him. I ain't crazy about Ball at all. But these are the guys who we have behind these guys. So something got to happen real quick. And then, ladies and gentlemen, let's give Tennessee credit, y'all. They only giving up 80 yards a game running. That's third in the league, y'all. Come on now. They know what they're doing over there. So let's not act like we just supposed to just run down their throat. I will do this, Henry, though. I will do this.
Talk to me.
I got to give Kellen Moore credit.
What?
Because the running game was not working, but he stayed consistent. He stuck with it. I got to give him credit. Usually when the running game don't work like this, usually he is just shotgun the whole game. We ran the ball 31 times, and we didn't have no yardage. What, it was 19 for 37 yards for Zeke. Davis had, I forgot his numbers, but it wasn't a lot other than that big old 23-yard run he had. He stuck with it. That's the part that kind of shocked me. I got to tip my hat to him today. He stayed consistent with the running game. Go ahead and give him credit, Henry. We kill him all year, but we got to give him credit for at least sticking with it.
Yeah, he stuck with the running game. I will give him that. I will give him that.
You ain't saying nothing else with it, Henry, though.
Nah, that's all I'm saying. I still have issues with some of his situational play calling.
Yeah, I think we got
running the ball. He's still staying around the 30 attempt mark. I'm fine with that. So
he actually ran. Look, what's so crazy is Zeke almost got 20 carries, which is what I always say he'll never get again. He almost got. Well, he didn't get it. He got 19. I was like, wow. He really gave him the ball. Good Lord.
If the running game was working a little bit better, you probably would have had like 25 carries.
Yeah, come on now. So I was kind of shocked that he did stick with it. So I was impressed with that. What somebody say here? Let me stick with this comment. That's why I put up. Gary said earlier. He said everyone makes excuses for Zeke and want to blame Kellen, when the truth is, it is Zeke. We do the same with Pollard. He was talking about the same running plays, and get better results. I think there's a lot of.
Let me push back on that.
Okay.
Y'all seen Tony Pollard catching passes, and that's something he does well. But he has not ran well the last couple of games. 9 attempts, 19 yards, 2.1 yards a carry in the Eagles game. Jaguars, 19 carries, 75 yards, 3.9 yards a carry, no touchdowns. Texans, 10 carries, 42 yards. So it's not like Tony Pollard's been getting off. Let's keep it real. The plays that these people are talking about in general or the passing plays. Because he was Tony Pollard in that Eagles game was the second leading receiver. He had 60-something yards receiving. But you take away what he does receiving, he has not. There are plenty of games that he has not rushed well. So that is true for all our running backs. Malik Davis didn't get off yesterday either. He had the one run that he was shut down.
Yeah, I think a lot of that schematically, I can see what Gary's saying on that. But I want to carry it a step further than that. I think that we're just not. We're still predictable. Like when we come in with this single back, 2 tight end set, 9 times out of 10 they running, and it's usually something right up the middle. It's too predictable. And teams, once they see it, because we ain't showed nothing different, they come on in and bring a whole bunch of people in for run blitzing, and it's easy to kind of stop. I just think that you open it up like I said earlier. If you knew they were loading up for the run on first and second down, it wasn't nothing wrong with passing out of it every now and then. Certainly, you got some pass plays out there, formation. You gotta get them going on that part. I think Gary probably, if I know him like I know him, I believe my brother kind of pushed back with you on it. Let's see what he said. He said, "No, I know exactly what I'm talking about. What you're not looking at is those teams are good against the run, and we don't have the old line we had in 2014. That's true. They're not as dominant, obviously, as they are. But I think creativity has something to do with it, too. I just think that it's just a little bit too obvious. Like, if you watch our Cowboy game, you just back and tell what we going to do. I mean, you done seen the plays there. You know we going to run. You know we going to pass. It's just simple as things as that.
I'm also going to push back again. The Eagles were not a good run defense, and we couldn't run against them.
Yeah.
They were like a 17th ranked running defense. So, no, they did not have a good run defense.
Yeah. Coach says, Big Show, did you see Dan Quinn reaction when Kellen passed the ball to two straight times after the right interception with 5 minutes left in the game? Yeah, I saw it. Everybody shot. Yeah, he furious. All I know. He passed the ball. See, that's the situational stuff that Henry was talking about that we all say. Like, some things are just obvious. Some things are make good football sense. And these are some of the things that we just don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Kellen has been known to do this for the last few years. You know what I'm saying? So, that's why he was looking like that. Yeah, I saw it, Coach. It was right. Joe says, I don't understand why Kellen Moore calls so many up the middle plays that don't get results and don't call sweeps to the outside when we really get most out of our yards. Joe, let me help you. The reason why is because Zeke really can't get out there outside sweeps. He really can't. He can't. He had to have perfect blocking for him to really make a move. He's not the Zeke Elliott from even 2 years ago. He's a pounder now. He's a sledgehammer type running back. When you give him the ball, you ain't looking for him to go to the house with it. Those plays getting outside are for Pollard and Davis if you were to get out there. I even throw Dak when he run a little zone read play or something like that. Zeke don't get out there too much, too easy no more. He's a between the tackle type guy now. That's what he is. He can't really get out there. So that's why I was saying when Kellen tried to call that, we'll be complaining like, why are y'all running outside with Zeke? We'll be saying that because Zeke really don't get out there like that no more. It's just that simple. Greg says, Kellen Moore play calling be vanilla, especially in the run game. Yeah,
I agree.
No doubt.
With that.
Yeah, that's what we were saying earlier. It's very predictable. That's what we were saying earlier. You got to change it up, and maybe who knows? All this can change. Those things can be done. We the season not over. We can fool some teams real quick on that part. So it's just little small things. We just got to keep working on the small details, and then we can just move on as we get going. Somebody asked a question earlier about Washington. Are we playing our starters?
It's going to depend if the Eagles win.
There you go. It's really that simple. Whoever asked that question earlier, I'm sorry I didn't answer it earlier. But let me tell you, if Philly wins the game next week against Washington, I mean, it really does not do anything. We're not moving lower than fifth. We got a 2-game lead, I believe, over the 6-seeded team, so we're not going to lose our spot. We definitely cannot move up. We'll know who we're playing tomorrow, actually, with the Carolina-Tampa game.
Well, that's not completely true.
Why? Oh, you talking about the Saints?
No. If Tampa wins,
I thought they win division.
They like the division.
Yeah.
But if Carolina wins, they would have to win next week to win the division.
And who they play that day? I think is it between them and the Saints? Yeah. So again, if you didn't hear that, if Tampa wins, which a lot of people think it was going to happen, if Tampa wins, then we know who we're playing in the first round. I don't think we're catching the Eagles. Okay, I don't think we are. The Eagles will have to lose tomorrow and the next game for us to even, then things get real interesting then. But I don't think it's gonna happen. So if Tampa wins and Philly wins, there's really no need to play next week. I mean, that's me. I don't want to risk no more injuries. We're thin now. If they're going to play, let them play a series and then sit out. That's it. Treat it like a preseason game. And I'm quite sure the Cowboys are going to do that. Coach said this right here. Yeah, he kind of veered off. I agree with Coach. Coach said his last game, no pass to the running backs, no read option, no D pass to T.Y. Yeah. Kellen, hey. I hate to say this, but maybe it wasn't in the game plan. No. Malik caught one on a dump pass by Dak and got about 12, 13 yards. And Malik can do that. But when you talking about the swing pass to Zeke Elliott ain't going nowhere. I mean, I'm sorry. He ain't going nowhere. It used to be Zeke when the first man could never get Zeke down. Whoever put their hand on Zeke now, just about he going down. So I don't think that could happen. All right, I'm done. Henry, what else you want to talk about? I know you.
We didn't cover most of everything we want to talk about, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna open up the line if you want to go right there. I know Coach gonna call in. Let's go ahead and grab the line. It's open right now. Y'all see it on the ticker there. Go ahead and call in if you can. And let's see what you have to say about the situations. Whatever parts that we talked about, you're free to do it. But primarily this show here was kind of saying, like, ladies and gentlemen, we're 12-4. We're not 4-12. Let's stop talking like we getting ready for the NFL draft. Give me a break. We're getting ready for the playoffs, man. We one of the best teams in the NFL. It just ain't no question about that. I got it right here. Okay. I got Coach Marv.
Call from
Coach Marv.
Coach Marv is in the building.
To accept.
Ladies and gentlemen, my coach is in the building. Coach Marv, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. How y'all doing, fellas?
Yeah, we in the building. What's up, Coach?
Yeah, I just got a couple things big time, and Henny to unpack. First, I got a key to straighten out this defense.
Okay.
We're hurting at the second level, and if you watch the game, and I mentioned this on the last game in the game against Philly, the couple of plays that Michael Parsons played at linebacker, the impact on the blitz, as well as causing some confusion with Philly. On the few plays he played at linebacker were beneficial. Mm-hmm. And if you watched him in this past game, they played him in linebacker. I think one possession he knifed through and made a tackle for like a 1 yard gain on a run play, and he got about 2 to 3 pressures on the few plays that he played at linebacker. Mm-hmm. You're not limiting him from being a pressure guy if you play him in the middle. And I can tell you this from an offensive line aspect. Guards and centers do not want to block Mike Parsons. Mm-hmm. Too much speed, too much wiggle and power coming up in there. And if you don't slide right or you try to help a little bit with the defensive tackle and you don't get back when he comes, if you're not there on time, he's going to get pressure right up the middle. And I believe we do have guys enough to be able to get pressure from Sam Williams and Dante Fowler from the outside, where it wouldn't hurt us in certain downs of Michael Parsons coming from the middle. Our defense, the reason why we don't run zone as much as I've been looking at this, because our underneath coverage is horrible with our linebackers. Anthony Barr is slow as molasses going uphill in the wintertime right now.
And he done got slower as the year went by.
And it's not to say he doesn't have the smart, but he is very slow. Even when he gets in the plays Gifford played, if you watch the screen pass, not attacking the ball, going down the field, getting blocked down the field, and he doesn't have, his tackling ability has been suspect as well, but he's been a good special teams guy. And then when you get into the point of the young guy is still learning, and I think the guy at LSU, not having a whole training camp and just kind of, so he's learning on the go. It's really, it's hard for me to say that LVE would be better because, LVE had a good game the last game before he got hurt, but the game before that he had one tackle.
Yeah.
So let's go, but he seemed like he would play it a little bit better, but I agree with what Henry says that, okay, we know how he plays kind of soft already. How is he going to play coming off a stinger when he comes back? Is he going to be confident enough to really to do the job on that?
Yeah.
I say this with the line. Do y'all remember the play that was 4th and 3, and DeMarcus Lawrence made a inside move and hit the running back at the line of scrimmage,
Yeah,
but
he got ran over.
Couldn't hold him from making the first down?
Yeah.
Do y'all notice the next man to get to the plate, and he held the guy there for a minute. The next person to get there was Mayshawn Wright.
Yeah.
Your two linebackers never got off of their blocks to clean that up.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
And this is where I've been trying to tell people for the longest. When we keep talking about defensive line play, if you do not have linebackers that are scrapers and pluggers and see things and attack things, you can have great defensive line.
Yeah.
They still gonna get creased because you don't have the persons that fill the holes. We're asking our defensive linemen to take on blocks, then get rid of the block and make the tackles. Yeah. Because our linebacker totals, if Henry looks them up, Henry can tell you our linebacker tackling totals are horrible when you compare it to everybody else in the NFL.
Yeah.
So the linebacker thing, with possibly playing a little bit more linebackers, will give us some speed in there where teams will be threatened to throw the ball across the middle, and maybe our zone coverage will be better because if you don't have good linebackers that can cover some ground or flow in the middle, it's very hard for you to run zone because that area is going to start to get attacked, like it did in the Eagles game when we ran some zone, and you notice they attacked us in the middle with crossing routes and stuff of that nature. Yeah. You don't see us teams do that when we play man. They always try to take the outside because we're playing man and we're running with guys. But again, and I don't know how we can fix it. I said Malik Jefferson and the thing. Malik Jefferson had a great preseason. He's a hitter. He's a special teams guy. He has some ability, but at this particular point in time, we just got to get better play out of our linebacker.
Yeah.
So the second point about the run game, let's not. If you watch the game, when you getting guys hit in the backfield and you see the frustration on Ezekiel Elliott, as well as you seen the mannerism of our offensive linemen shaking their heads and about they missed this guy. It was not clean. We didn't get off and get to the second level. We did stay on guys. It was not clean, not even from our tight ends. Our tight ends got blown up. Even our young tight ends didn't block very well this game. Overall, we did not really block. And we really didn't block well in the passing game because Tyler Smith had some problems. That got hit a multitude of times, and it seemed like he started to get a little rush because we just didn't play well. And I could consider that as a fatigue thing because you coming off a big victory, and then the Christmas came the next day. Then you try to go in 2 more days. You try to go to Tennessee. It was a fatigue thing. This team needs rest. But for the running game, let's not be. Let's look at this. Tyron, the great Tyron Smith, his run blocking has been lacking for the years.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying that he's not a great pass blocker, but the physicality of him in the run game, of being a nasty physical run blocking tackle,
yeah,
that has gone to not as much. Terrence Steele was a dog. His run blocking, he tried to maul people. And we don't have that guy in Tyron Smith that's going to maul people like that in the run game. Now, pass game, yes, Tyron Smith you can't probably get no better than him. He may have a hiccup here and there, but he's a great pass blocker. But we need him to be a mauler, a mauler on that right tackle spot, and then that's where you can start seeing the run game. But he's right now in the run game. He's more of a shield, technical type person, even though he's a big guy.
Yeah,
and that's where you may be limited in that area. And the last point about Kellen, yes, you stuck with a running game, but it's not that we are talking about running the football. We're talking about controlling the tempo of a football game, knowing when to do things and when not to do things. We got in a point in that game where we ran the ball in the first half to get our score. You remember, we ran the ball 6 times out of 8 plays. I think we ran 5 or 6 times after that drive we got the first score. Mm-hmm. From that point on, we went mostly passing the ball. And I've always said this. If you're going to be a team that's an identity of running the ball, you cannot use your passing game as a short passing game, because what happens is people start to come up, and then now you're playing with a lot of congestion. The number 31, the safety, was 5 to 6 yards off the football. That's why he was in every play that it was there, because we didn't threaten them.
Yeah.
And if we have T.Y. Hilton, people, look at the history of T.Y. Hilton. Go back and watch all the film you want to see him when he was at Indianapolis. T.Y. Hilton average per catch is about 15 yards per catch for his career.
Yeah.
He is not a slant, stop route type of guy. He is a deep post, deep in cut, 9 route, corner route type of receiver. And if you're going to use him in these small stop routes where he doesn't use his wiggle and he doesn't stretch the field, you're using him as a misservice. And this is where the Cowboys has always been looking.
Yeah.
T.Y. Hilton and the Cowboys have been going out for receivers, not for a third wide receiver, people.
Yeah.
They've been going out to say, we need a number 2 wide receiver, and Michael Gallup will eventually be the 3rd wide receiver in the short routes. But if you're not going to use T.Y. Hilton for what he does best, of going and getting down the field, that's a misservice to T.Y., and you're not going to get the best out of him. And he can tell you when you look it up, T.Y.'s least average per year catching was 11 yards per catch.
Yeah.
So he's a big play guy. So using him on slant and 5-yard out, that's not going to be good for T.Y. Get him down the field. Let's stretch this field out, and the running game would be better if we are committed and Tillman gets on this offensive line to let them know that we have to be nasty starting first game in the playoffs for a 4-game stretch.
Yeah. We
got to get nasty up front, because everybody's going to play the run well when you get in the playoff time, because everybody's going to be wanting to win playoff games.
Yeah. I agree with it.
Just wanted to shoot those things out to y'all fellas. Great job as always, brother. I'll be listening.
Appreciate you, Coach. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And add on what he said, he is completely correct. T.Y. Hilton's career yards per reception is 15.4. So he is a deep ball threat.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people see that he's like 6 foot and automatically assume that he was a slot, but he came in running a 4.3. Like he was pre-Tyreek Hill. He wasn't as fast, of course, but he was always a deep threat guy. Now he can play slot. He is a good route runner and all those other good things, but his best skill set is getting vertical.
He's also always have been a good yard after catch guy too. Always have been. I ain't talking about because he was catching bombs. You know, all he got to do is get to the end zone. I'm just saying when he puts his hands on the ball, he's able to make make people miss. He, it's just like Coach just said, and just like Henry said, you got to know your personnel and know how to use them. It's really just that simple, like that. So let me throw this in. I'll close out with this. We really, ladies and gentlemen, we played Thursday. All right. Obviously, we're not playing tomorrow, and we're not playing Monday night, and we're not playing next Thursday. We're playing next Sunday. So that's 10 days off. I'm saying that if Tampa wins tomorrow, and of course if it really ain't worried about Tampa. If Philly wins tomorrow, that's really all we're concerned about. If Philly wins tomorrow, then this 10-day vacation, or other than practice, could really turn into at least a 17-day now. Because some guys don't need to be playing, if that's the case. So for those that are wondering, we need to rest our guys and all that, I believe that's going to happen. And for guys that are really nicked up, they're going to get a lot of rest. Now, that could be a detriment, or that could be a real plus. So I don't know where we really are with Hankins and those guys like that, but we really need to get guys healed up. I don't know the status on LVE, where he's supposed to be as far as health goes, but as Coach Marv said earlier, when you play the linebacker position, the last thing that a linebacker, he plays the wrong position because you got to use your head and your neck nonstop. And once you have neck problem as a linebacker, you're in trouble. And this can't be denied. So we don't really know where he is, and is he healed enough to where he's willing to be, aggressive when you playing that. So we got this game tomorrow. If you're looking for anything tomorrow, you really just need to be checking out Philly and see if they win. Then that we need to rest some more guys that's already rested. If they lose, however, guess what? We lining up against Washington. Anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? If Philly some kind of way lose tomorrow, oh my goodness, it could be interesting. Joseph, don't you think we should play some starters because they need the reps because the offensive line hasn't played together enough because of these injuries? I agree, but I don't think they're probably gonna play the whole game, Joe. I believe you treat it like a preseason game, to be honest with you. We can't afford injuries in certain spots. We just can't. I'm sorry. We can't afford it. And the best way to avoid that is to sit them down. I hate to say that, but we just can't avoid it. We can't hardly afford no injuries on the offensive line. None. None, for real. Greg says, Henny says, Big Show and Henny, do you think Dak interception problem may be due to O-line issues?
Partially, maybe, but like I said, some of those interceptions were hitting guys in the hands, like the pick six he threw to Noah Brown. Hit him right in the chest, bounced to the receiver. The Hendershot interception hit him right in the chest, bounced to the safety.
Yeah.
So some of it may be O-line. We do have the 31st ranked pass blocking O-line in football. People don't talk about that because we're so effective scoring points. But Dak Prescott is doing a lot with a little.
Yeah, a lot of interceptions. Also, if y'all remember earlier, a few interceptions was because of the receiver stopping. They didn't complete the route. When they thought he's supposed to flatten it out, they went kind of like an angle. They weren't flattening it out.
Wasn't crossing the safety face.
One crossing the safety face and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, Dak will get the blame for it, but every interception has a story. Some of them are Dak without a doubt. Trying to throw in the tight windows. The other interception that he had Thursday was on him, trying to throw it in the deep. But the dude at this point, y'all, and y'all can say what y'all want to say, but this man got confidence, man. And the last thing you don't want your quarterback to do is to try to him start thinking too much. You don't want that. This dude got confidence in himself. And however it turned out, it ain't gonna be because of lack of confidence. He believe he can. If it's a tight window, he believe he can zip it in there. That's just how he's thinking right now. And let's be honest, and let's be fair. Y'all focusing in on the interceptions, yeah, but there have been some windows that were real tight that he did it. Now he put it in there. So let's touchdown
in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, so let's be fair. I got one more. I got another call in. My brother Gary in the building. Gary Atkinson, what's up now?
What's going on?
Yes, sir. You in the building. What's going on? Talk to me.
Man, I wanted to elaborate on some of what I was saying earlier.
Okay.
I'm not saying Philly pass defense is great, but our O-line is not so good.
Okay.
When you lining up and the dude in front of you beating you, you're not going to run the ball successfully. Look at how many times that got sacked against Philly, or how many times they were back there.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Our O-line ain't built for us to line up and just run on teams. We can't do that. Tyron getting older. He's still good in the pass set, but his run blocking ain't so great because of all the injuries. That starts to wear on him. And I agree with Coach Marv when he said we need to pull Parsons off the line. He don't need to line up on the line of scrimmage every play. I understand everybody, he a great pass rusher, this and that. Yeah, but anybody that plays football knows it's dirty stuff that goes on in the trenches. And he said he getting popped in the ribs by running backs, tight ends. You know what I'm saying? He not the same. If you look at him play, he don't have the same burst and explosion that he had early in the year because they beating him up.
Yeah,
he needs to play off the line because we negating some of what he does great.
Yeah.
He diagnoses and gets to the ball faster than any linebacker we have.
Yeah.
We're talking about linebackers being slow. Well, he's not going to be slow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We need to pull him off the line. And a lot of people criticizing the Tennessee game, but they not understanding we were real vanilla in the Tennessee game. We did just enough to win the game. That's all we did.
Yeah.
We didn't open it up. We didn't do a lot. T.Y. didn't go down the field. Yeah, he didn't. But the game before that, you seen he had a big play. I think they're trying to keep some stuff hidden for the playoffs because we know we made the playoffs. So why tip your hand and let people see what you got up the sleeve before you have to?
Yeah.
Don't put that on film so they can see and study for it. You know what I'm saying? Keep something to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree
with you, but let me put you back just a little bit. Because we said the same thing about Kellen Moore last year. He's saving plays for the playoffs. He's saving plays for the playoffs. Got to the playoffs. Same vanilla plays. Offense was inefficient. None of the plays they said he was saving showed up. So I don't like if this was a good offensive coordinator, I would give him the benefit of the doubt. But Kellen Moore has consistently shown that's just him.
I can get that, but see, it's a lot of people that judge Kellen off just that they don't like it. I'm not biased like that. I don't look at who I like and who I don't like. I just look at what goes on. You can't tell me that we ran the same offense against Tennessee that we've been running all year. You can't convince me of that because I seen it. It was real vanilla. You know what I'm saying? I don't. Kellen ain't perfect. Nobody is, but he gets overly criticized a lot because most people that are Cowboy fans, they watch Dallas more than any other team. I guarantee you, if you watch football every Sunday, every game, you're going to have some of the same questions and doubts about every coordinator in this league. It's not one of them that's perfect and that don't do something that people think is dumb or wasn't good or effective. But yeah, we didn't run nowhere near the same offense that we ran all year against Tennessee.
No, matter of fact, the game looked more almost like a Cooper Rush type offense Thursday, at least.
Looked like a preseason game.
Yeah, well, just run, whatever, run, 31, and just let it happen. Let your defense try to carry it through. But I think everybody's kind of. You know how I feel about it, Gary. I don't like his play calling at certain times. So I guess you could categorize that as situational football.
Oh, yeah.
So I that's my only problem with him. Like I said before, the pushback would be like, okay, you may not like that, but let the stats be the stats again. The dude has been a top 2 to 3 coordinator ever since he done took over. I mean, good Lord. Number one offense in the league. I get all that, but that situational stuff is what hurt you or take away momentum, or slow things like, he always get kind of cute when he get right at the 50-yard line, and you're right. That's because we always watch so many Cowboy games. We can almost predict when he's gonna try to get funny. And he tried, instead of be first down and 10, you'll try a dang double reverse after the running game had been working or whatever, and you try to get cute. Now it's second down and 18. And we really ain't built to be behind the sticks too much either, to be honest with you. But this is kind of stuff that we done seen consistently. But the other, if we're going to tell the story, let's tell the whole story. Kind of hard to argue the stats. The dude does have usually top 2 or 3 offense every year, and that's what Dak Prescott understands exactly.
We'll say
I can understand that. I don't agree. I don't disagree either.
Yeah.
But on the same note, people talk about, like, when we ran the reverse earlier in the red zone and we lost like 3 or 4 yards, everybody was down and kept it. We ran it 3 times since then. We ran it with CeeDee Lamb. He walked in the end zone. Ran it with Hendershot, he walked in the end zone. Everybody praising, oh, what a great play. You can't have it both ways. Either that's a great play or it's a bad play. And from what I see, a lot of people are biased with it. If it works, it's a great play. If it don't, oh, that was trash. You know what I'm saying? But I see teams, everybody talk about San Francisco and Shanahan. Does the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a copycat league. People going to do what works for others. But then when it's killing and it don't work, it's a problem. Shanahan can do it don't work. They'll get it back. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same accountability. You know what I mean? That's the only thing that gets me when it comes to Kevin. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's the greatest by far, but I by far don't think he's the worst either.
No, he's not the worst. He's not the worst.
You get that Tony Romo criticism.
Yeah, he's not the worst by no means. I've always said from the 20 to the 20, I've said he's one of the best in the whole league. My problem last year was that he was horrible in the red zone. He shut that down this year. We're pretty good in the red zone this year. It's just the situational calls that I have a problem with. But as you said earlier, every coordinator could get the same questions. I think it's more of a matter, Gary, that even if a guy like, for instance, like you said, Shanahan is more trusted than Kellen Moore because he's going to stick with his identity. His identity is to run the football. So he don't turn the game. He don't turn the game into the hands of Garoppolo or especially this dude here or Purdy. We know McCaffrey, and before McCaffrey got there, we know that they were going to run the ball. They had 3 running backs, and they were going to depend on their defense. He's pretty much kind of stuck with that, and because of that, he's more trusted with Kellen. Kellen wants to be, we know that he's a pass-happy type of dude. And what we've said is if everybody keeps saying that the strength of your football team is Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard, then let that be the case. But Kellen has the tendency to always want to make Dak Prescott the MVP of the league is what a lot of people have had a problem with, myself included. But what you said is true. Everybody is not perfect offensive coordinator. I agree with you on that. I think it's just the fact that Shanahan is more trusted than Kellen Moore. That's all it is.
Yeah, and
Go ahead, Henry.
With Shanahan, he has the body of work to be more trusted. But let's look at the receipts. In his system, Matt Ryan was the league MVP.
Yeah.
Like he was offensive coordinator of a team that went to a Super Bowl. As a head coach, his system got his team to a Super Bowl. Last year, his system got his team with nobody really thinks Jimmy G is a great quarterback. At best they think he's probably like a top 15.
But a lot of it I don't see.
Okay.
And
My fault about Gary. Go ahead, Gary.
Oh no, you good, man.
Yeah.
It's just like you said.
Hold up, Gary. Go ahead, Henry.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. My name Gary as well, so I didn't know.
No, I'm sorry. That's right. Yeah, that's right. My fault. Henry, go ahead.
Yeah, so just like you said, he's a proven commodity, and like you said, there's no such thing as a perfect coordinator. He makes mistakes, say that there's boneheaded plays, but there's consistency and there's a level of production that you get out of his offense, but you can see him win with a guy like Brock Purdy. You've seen him win a game with Trey Lance. You've seen him win consistently with Jimmy Garoppolo. None of these guys are top flight quarterbacks. And his offense doesn't take a hit. With Kellen Moore is Dak Prescott or does. If Dak Prescott is not playing a good game, then usually you don't overcome that. You've seen it with Cooper Rush, we're a bottom offense. You've seen it with Andy Dalton, we're going to good offense.
Yeah.
So that's part of the criticism with Kellen Moore. It doesn't seem that he ever has good games without Dak Prescott playing at a good level.
Yeah. Appreciate you, Gary. Go ahead, Aaron. Go ahead and finish up.
You seeing that change though. Just like Bishop said last year, he had a problem with him in the red zone, and he then corrected that. So he's making steps and strides, but what else you got to take into consideration? Look at Shanahan's coaching tree. Look at the guys that he came up under. Kellen Moore didn't have. Look who he came up under. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't expect him to be Mr. Everything right off the rip when he just came from being a player and had to learn under Jason Garrett.
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan, his dad was a great coach.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? McVay, he came up under great coach.
Yeah.
So he don't have that example. He has to learn on the fly.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you popping in on me, man. Thanks so much.
Yeah, we appreciate the call, brother. Call in again.
Appreciate you having me, Bishop.
Appreciate you, man. All right, now. One thing that, and I guess I'll close. Go ahead and answer this before I close. Well, no, why it's hot on my head. Henry, that one's going to be for you. What Coach Miles said. Let me not give you time to think about that real quick. One thing that we got to give Kellen Moore credit for, again, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, we're 12-4. I'm going to keep saying it, so obviously some things went right. It's just that simple. When Dak went down, Kellen Moore showed a lot. Even though the offense was at the lower tier of the league, he turned it over. We thought he would be pass happy. He turned it over to the running game. That's not him. He coached that. Good running game, good defense. That's what wanted. What the problem, and you got to be fair to Kellen, because when you do get Dak Prescott in, you're supposed to change the game plan up a little bit. There's no question about that. He will not have the Cooper Rush playbook. That's just not gonna happen. When Dak did that, it's just the fact, and even with him being pass happy, when we finished looking at the stats for the game, we right under close to 30 yards. 30 carries a game, or right less. So it kind of balances out. It's just that in those certain situations, he gets on my nerves. Ain't no sense in me lying about it. But it is what it is. Go ahead and answer that question that Coach Mar put up there, Henry. That one for you.
All right, I'm going to answer that, and I'm going to answer a couple more that hit me on my page about questions.
Okay.
So yes, like the combinations, the route combinations have not been great. And if you watch, a good watch for y'all would be some of the film breakdowns that, what's the boy's name?
From where?
It's the quarterback, Kurt Warner. I don't know how I let Kurt Warner name slip my mind, but Kurt Warner actually does great film breakdowns about some of the concepts that he doesn't get from Kellen Moore. So there are some concepts that we run. I'm not gonna get too far to the X and O's of it, where they're not really clearing out or taking advantages of high lows against players. So let's say we're running a route concept. There gonna be multiple routes run on one side against a receiver. So I mean, I guess a defensive back, I should say. A lot of times when they're running these route concepts, he's running in the way that one guy can cover two guys instead of actually making him choose. And if you go back and look at some of these breakdowns that he does, he breaks it down in a much better way than I can, just off the top of the head, without film in front of me. And also, yes, there is another thing: the option routes are putting Dak Prescott in predicament sometimes, especially earlier in the season, because he had missed time with the thumb. A lot of these guys he hadn't had a lot of time to play with, because Dak Prescott missed 17 games in the last 2 seasons. He missed a season worth of games in the last 2 seasons. It would be honest.
That's a lot.
So that's a lot of time not to have build a rapport with your receivers. So like when you run that many option routes, when you're not taking advantage of high-low combinations, you're gonna have to find yourself, in a pickle a lot of times. But some of these that he has been doing, the route combination have been trash, but he has been putting CeeDee Lamb in position to be successful. He played CeeDee Lamb in the slot a lot. He put CeeDee Lamb in motion a lot. Gary, I see you do know football because you.
Oh yeah, you know it. Oh yeah, you know it. Oh, you know it now.
So like those things he is doing well. Because CeeDee Lamb playing in the slot a lot more this year. He was on the outside a lot last year. They put him back in the slot more. He was successful with that at Oklahoma in college. He was successful with that his first couple of years in the season. Of his career, they're doing a lot more than this year. He has been the motion man. So like he's been in a lot of advantageous positions. That's the reason why it's hard to cover CeeDee Lamb, because it's hard to double somebody when they're in the slot. It's hard to double somebody when they're the motion man. So like I like to think that they are doing with him.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh yep, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today. We're gonna talk about it. I know I came on a little earlier. I don't know, cause Coach. Henny, you guys, your people are talking a lot here, so we're gonna highlight them too. Yeah, go ahead and talk to your folks.
First and foremost, hey man, happy New Year to you, Miss Charlene. Thank you for tapping in.
Yeah.
And then let me see. Against Tennessee, we all saw how important Tony Pollard is to the offense. Yeah, because when you think about it, he leads your team in big plays. When you lose a guy like that, has 4.3 speed, he can catch balls out the backfield, can run routes. It's explosive when hitting the hole. You can't replace him with a Pollard. Let's see. Ever since T.Y. came, CeeDee Lamb production has gone way up. Well, T.Y. gives you another deep threat. He gives you another guy that can run across underneath. He gives you another guy that can take the top off of defense. And like I said, they put that 30 going for 50-something yards. They put that on film. You got to account for that now. And like hell, CeeDee Lamb, after the game in Tennessee, he asked for T.Y.'s jersey just off the principle of him being a mentor in this short period of time. So like he has an effect outside of just football. Like he has the big brother effect that Amari Cooper had for CeeDee Lamb.
Gotcha. That's awesome. Well, I was just about to say that, Greg. You don't worry about it. I ain't gonna let him get out of here without y'all. He talking about it. Henny, some of my people on here and want to know where they can find you. As soon as he tell y'all this, now go ahead and subscribe and go ahead and follow him. Y'all know he's knowledgeable. Y'all know I don't bring nobody on my show if they don't know what he's talking about. Now this dude right here, is about as precise as you gonna get. As a matter of fact, you're going to find him, he's more of he's a stat guy, plus he know what he's talking about. He writes articles. He is the cousin of West Coast Cowboy. And if you follow West Coast, you know that he's been on his show a whole lot, pretty much a lot of his shows, pretty much every show almost. So Henny is a guy who's rising in the podcast community. I need my little family to help him out as well. So Henny, go on, tell him where you at.
Yeah, man. On Facebook, it's Henny the Moore, or YHENY the Moore on Facebook. And if you go to Twitter, it's HTM Sports.
Real simple. Y'all can see that, and I'm quite sure that if just in case y'all didn't catch it on Facebook, if you see the name right there on the screen, that's it on Twitter there. HTM Sports. And YouTube as well. HTM Sports. If you would go to YouTube now and subscribe to him now, if you don't mind, go to him, HTM Sports, and go there on Twitter as well. And if you want to follow him on Facebook, I'm quite sure he has that link on Facebook as well. I mean on Twitter, so that you can follow him there. But this way you definitely can get him, HTM Sports, Twitter or YouTube, and you can follow him there. I appreciate you, Henry, as always, for helping out, and you got open door policy. Anytime you want to come on in, I don't blame you. We can rock it, so ain't no big deal. I'm gonna go ahead and close out. Henry, you can leave because I got to turn into a preacher real quick for about the last 5 minutes. I appreciate you, Henry.
Man. Appreciate you.
Thank you, man. Happy New Year to you, brother.
Hey, Happy New Year, brother.
All right, man. Thank you so much. That was the one and only. That was Henny that joined in. Appreciate him always. Now, listen, y'all see what I got on, don't you? Yeah. I'm Michigan. Yeah. Michigan right here. So, y'all already know what time it is with me today. That's the reason why the show came up early, actually. I'm watching the game today. My Michigan Wolverines, as we try to climb the ladder one more time. And see if we can get past TCU. I know, Gary, you stay in Texas, so there you go. We ain't on sides today. My boys getting ready. Yeah, I see Alabama right now. I see them playing Kansas State. But Gary, this is where we gonna have to separate. It's almost go time. So big game today and tonight as well. But however, listen, as this will be my last show for the year. I want to thank everybody who has hung with me and supported me either by viewership or with your your subscriptions or your whatever, or just your listening ear. I want to thank everybody. Some of you have even contributed money as well. I'm like, wow, okay, I appreciate y'all for hanging with me this year. It's because of you guys. You guys make the show. I'm just a voice, but if I ain't got nobody to talk to, then I'm just sitting here talking. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate all of you through whatever means you've listened to me, by Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Pandora, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. I know I'm leaving something out, but YouTube, Twitter, however way that you watch me or you listen to me or just even press the button for however long it was, if it was just 3 seconds or if it was the whole time or if it was just half the time or if you decide to come back and watch the show later on, I appreciate you guys so much. You did not have to do it. There's certainly other podcasters that you can listen to, but I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you, Damon. Thank you, brother. Thank y'all for listening to me, just hanging with me. Some of y'all got the live notification set up on your phones. Man, look, I appreciate you. I thank you for it because you don't have to do it. I appreciate y'all just hanging with me. The show went up this year. We've joined the network. We're on Kiki TV. We should be on Roku TV coming up in the next few, probably about a month or so. Games, just small little sponsorship through the network, through Fanatics. I've not done right with putting that up there. Fanatics is where you can buy all your team gear. I got to get better at that, but it's been there the whole time. And right now, Fanatics, you can get some of your team gear off of 70% off. 70% off. So you little skull caps, jerseys, hats, and all that. I got to get better at that. I'll put that on there starting next year where y'all can get that kind of stuff, and I'll only do that here on the show. Now, listen, it's the end of the year, all right? Now, you're talking to Bishop Brooks now. Here I go. God has been, if you're a believer, if you are a believer, if you're not, then I understand. Happy New Year, Joe. Joe says they're 5 hours away to a brand new year in Italy. Everybody put Happy New Year to Joe because we're getting ready to get out of here in a minute. Happy New Year, Joe. We'll catch up with you in another 12 hours, 10 hours, I'm sorry. We'll be celebrating the new year here. Listen, if you're a believer, God has been good to you. Yes, he has. He has been good to you. Yes. And you ought to, at least at some point between now and the new year, you ought to give thanks to God. You ought to. For, if anything, keeping you. A lot of people died in this year. COVID is still here. A lot of things happen. But you and I are still here. You looking at me on your phone or your computer or whatever, or you listening to me right now. God has been good to us, and for that, he at least deserves at least one thank you. At least one. But then when you start adding up all the things that you've been through this year, then you really, that's when your thank yous become plural. And so we ought to give God thanks. So don't let this day go by or this night go by without thanking God. For those of you that have families and he's kept your family, that's good enough. You can thank him for that. It does not have to be this way. I appreciate you guys who stuck with me. I was going to be all right. But in May, I lost my mother. This year. Everybody pretty much knows that if you've been following me. I want to thank you guys for that. Inboxing me, checking on me and all that kind of stuff. I appreciate you guys, for that. I thank you for that. We making it through, still going through, but days are better. Appreciate that so much. So I'm not like you. My best friend today has his birthday party today. I will be with him tonight for his party, but I'm coming home. I'm gonna start my year off on my knees. You can. A lot of folks got different ways of starting out. Some start off with a champagne glass. I'm not knocking it because if that's you, that's you. Some gonna start off in a club. If that's you, that's you. That's all right. If some gonna have a house party tonight, some gonna shoot fireworks, some gonna shoot guns in there, all that kind of stuff. I'm just gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start it off on my knees, thanking God for allowing me to make it to 2023. And I'm gonna thank God for my family. I'm gonna thank God for my friends. I'm gonna thank God for the Big Time Show family. I'm gonna thank God for all my acquaintances that I know. So we have a lot to be grateful for, y'all. And for that, whether it's in your house or if you're going to a church or if you're gonna watch a service online, it's no harm with starting your year off with Christ. It's no harm with starting your year off with Christ. It's no penalty for it either. Let me be fair, because most folks are like, you just gotta be in church. No, you don't just gotta be in church. But it for those that are intentional in their I guess in their worship and in their direction, at least at some point you can be at home. Start your year off by thanking Christ or God for keeping you. And I probably say this tomorrow at church myself, but out of all the stuff we done been through this year, here's one other reason why y'all thank God. Now I'll close with this. with all the stuff that you and I have been through, watch this. He kept our minds. Hey, man, look. He kept our minds. I mean, there was a lot of things that could have just drove you to the other end. I ain't saying you're going to go crazy or nothing. I'm just saying he kept your mind. He kept you. You could have cussed somebody out, but you didn't do it. You wanted to go off, but you didn't do it. You wanted to do the wrong thing, but you didn't do it. He kept you. He kept your mind. He kept your mind. A lot of folks don't have that testimony. Do you hear me? A lot of folks don't have that testimony. A lot of them don't. There were some things that aggravated you to the utmost, and you could have lost it. But something on the inside, something on the inside kept you. And that's God. That's the Holy Ghost if you really want to get specific with it. But, I'm trying to be general because I don't know who I'm talking to. I don't know if I got believers in Christ or believers in other stuff. So whoever your God is, I'm a Christian. So you just need to thank God. It could be the other way around. All right. I'm done. I appreciate you. That was my little 5-minute sermonette. I appreciate all of you for hanging with me for this amount of time. I'm getting ready to get out of here. This is the last show of the year. Wow. Made it another year, huh? So we're going to crank this thing up. I see you guys. Look at him. Nothing done changed now. I'll be with y'all guys probably Monday as we get ready and kind of figure out what we need to do. It's either Philly loses and we get ready to play Washington, or Philly wins and we get ready to play either Tampa or Carolina or whoever else it is, the Saints. It's one or the other, y'all. But tomorrow's going to kind of clear up. Tomorrow's going to clear up everything for us a little bit. It'll let us know what direction we're going in after Philly game. All right, until then, Monday, 7 p.m. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year. I'm getting ready to watch my Wolverines. Gary, we'll talk a little bit later. But Happy New Year to everybody. Happy New Year. For the last time in 2022, signing off. This has been, oh my, yeah, man, the last one. This has been the Big Time Show.